folks, welcome to this week's Ag Report. So on the Ag Report, we try and do all things agriculture, whether you're small or large, unique, maybe a niche market, even agritourism. We have talked to a lot of different folks. Today we have a person joining us named Devontre Troy. He has a micro farm and another perspective in agriculture. Really excited to kind of get to hear about his operation, see the things that he's doing on a small plot of land or on small acreage. So it doesn't matter whether you're large or small, you can be involved in agriculture. So want to take a minute and hear about his operation.
So we breed like a little bit of the rare breeds of chickens and some of the fancy breeds like Polish and Saramas. We also have Iamsmanis and Deaf Layers. We breed Nigerian dwarf goats. We're currently getting into the Kuni Kuni or Kung Kung pigs. They're supposed to be marbled red meat. We're starting to breed fish and getting into cockatiels and zebra finches and just different things that, you know, we enjoy doing out here. Well, usually it starts off with one chicken, and then you end up falling in love with that one chicken, and then you end up getting two or three. Then you end up going to Tractor Supply and getting a bunch of chickens, and then one day you realize that there's way more to it than what you originally thought. And there's hundreds of thousands of different types of chickens. They all come in different colors, different varieties. They have different personalities, different attitudes. Some of them like to fly around. Some of them like to hang out and just chill. The goats, we enjoy doing goat milk, and we milk our goats daily, and we like to make cheese, and we enjoy doing that. We want to start making soaps here soon. And then the Kuni Kuni pigs, we're wanting to start trying to get into producing meat and taking them to shows and trying to do livestock shows, because my kid's really wanting to show pigs this year. So when I was growing up, I did an FFA, and I did it over here in Ennis for a while, and then I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was a kid, and then I ended up going in like construction for a while, working really hard, and then falling in love with animals and really just taking it from there, and kind of just took up most of my time. But I enjoy it. So typically we wake up in the morning, my wife goes and she milks the goats, while I usually I hatch my brine shrimp out. So first thing, I take the brine shrimp out of the hatcher so I can feed all the baby fish, and I feed all the baby fish, I feed all the adult fish, then I come out and I feed the chickens. We collect the eggs, we feed the goats hay. We usually let them out for a little bit because we like to periodically let chickens out and roam our yard. So we take care of all the animals, we get that done, and usually by then we can go get breakfast made, and then I usually come back outside, and I'm usually talking to a lot of people throughout the day, so I'm on the phone taking videos, pictures. We also do beekeeping, so some days we go out and we take care of our beehives. We lost some last year. We lost 4 of our hives, so this year we're trying to recuperate and rebuild and kind of have more hives so we can start having honey again, because everybody used to love our honey. Doing the beekeeping, it's more of something that we do, weekly. You're checking beehives, seasonally you're extracting honey, you're adding frames, you're taking frames away. It's more of like a management process, because what we do, we're more working with the nature than trying to work against it. So we're trying to give everything what they need and what they want. It depends on the season, because during like the earlier seasons and what the local farmers are having out here, because there's a lot of wildflower, we're surrounded by cotton and different crops, so it really just depends. Usually during the early spring, we have a nice light honey that's really bright yellow, or not yellow, bright honey colored, and then usually during the summer it's more of a darker honey, because there's more of the hardier plants that are trying to survive the summer. Because during the summertime there's less moisture around, there's less water, so the plants are there's less moisture around. So it's thicker, it's more rich, it's a little more hardier, I would say. Well, generally our chickens are more of the rare, fancier breeds. So generally we hatch most of our eggs, and we do sell some eggs, but the eggs are going for people who want to actually breed the breeds. We have different color eggs with dark chocolate brown eggs, green, blue eggs. We have white eggs, different size eggs. So it generally depends on what people are wanting, and we try to provide them with the best quality birds that we can. We have a strict culling process, so that way, when we sell something to somebody, they are getting the best bird we can provide to them. because we don't want to sell them something that later on they're going to have issues with, or they're going to have problems. We want them to have the most amazing birds that we can provide them. We do the goats because, you know, we drink goat's milk now. We do goat's milk, goat's cheese, and stuff like that we enjoy. So we usually keep the goats around because we really like having them around. We enjoy the milk, we enjoy the cheese. We want to start making soaps and providing soaps to people and doing that. And the Kuni pigs are just something that we thought was really cool, and something that, you know, not everybody has. And my son, he's really wanting to get into shows because we show our chickens every once in a while. But Corona hit and we kind of slowed down and we haven't gone out because, you know, how that is. You know, I think there was one show and a lot of people end up getting sick, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't go to that one. But as this starts to subside, we want to start taking the pigs to show and taking some of our chickens back to show and getting back into that process again. We started a YouTube channel, so we're trying to make more posts and more informational videos on YouTube channels on, you know, how to properly care for fish and chickens. We want to start doing videos on how to take care of goats and just different venues of everything. We document some of the stuff that we do here, and then we also try to educate with some of the videos, like teaching people how to candle eggs, or, you know, if they have any questions, then I'm more than willing to try to answer them in any way that I can, whether it's a visual demonstration of how to do it or me explaining to them how to do it. The more accumulated knowledge you have, the more you can make a better assumption of what you need to do. So if, say, you have a bird and it's not doing so good and you're trying to figure out what's wrong with it, and so you understand the process of, hey, you need to take the bird, give it somewhere quiet, give it some medications, so that way it could try to recover or recuperate. Or, you know, if it's something that could be contagious, or if it's something, because we practice biosecurity, where, you know, we don't try to bring in anybody else's birds anymore, and if we do, we try to bring them from eggs, so that way there's less contamination. And, you know, because with birds, there's a lot of things that can get brought in and come out of the farm. Usually I'm constantly posting anything that's exciting happening, anything that's new happening, just trying to keep people involved, because lately I've been noticing a lot of people are enjoying watching what we're doing and seeing what's happening and being able to just to look at the fish, because some people aren't able to take care of what we have, and they wish they could. So they just being able to watch it and getting the time to see things like this that they would never get to see in normal days is something enjoyable. I mean, during the snowstorm, we ended up having 2 goats giving birth in the middle of a snowstorm, so that was a tough one. It's like we're always busy doing things. It's not really work when you enjoy everything you're doing. It just depends on what they're wanting to get into, because there's, like I said, there's all the animals, there's many different breeds, there's different kinds, and each kind of variety has a different attitude and type of lifestyle. Like there's miniature goats compared to large breed goats. So this is about a little under than an acre property here. We have 9 goats, we're gonna have 3 pigs, we have over 100 chickens, and it's all about property management. So, you know, if you're wanting chickens and you can dedicate a part of your yard to chickens and start off with a few, then usually that'll grow something more from there. Because I know a lot of towns, they let you have a couple of a couple of hens, but they won't let you have roosters in a lot of city limits. So most like chicks and eggs and stuff like that are. We haven't started working on the soaps yet. We're trying to get that going. We generally have, like, we're starting to have fish available and just different things. And as our goats have babies, we end up, you know, we part with some of those, and the baby pigs, as we get them, we part with those. So usually we're always posting about everything on Facebook, so that way people know.
Why fish?
It was the next thing on my list of things I've always wanted to do. I think they're really beautiful, to be honest. I like having the outdoor ponds. I like having the fish around, and I figured if they see me working really hard and other people enjoy what I'm doing and they like seeing it, then they're going to want something from me in their fish tank or in their farm, in their backyard. They're going to want that. It's like, as we're planning, one day we want to have more property, and I might get into like raising catfish. This is all great practice for, different things in the future, but it's all limited to what you want to really put out there. So I tell people all the time, I'm like, people will pay you to do anything. If you follow your dreams and you work really hard at it, then you can follow your dreams. There's no one stopping you but yourself.
There's a really interesting perspective of a micro farm, or maybe you might call it urban farm or urban farming, whatever word you want to kind of use on there. It's a good perspective showing no matter where you are, whether you live in the city or out in the country, if you have a desire for agriculture, to maybe that's producing your own vegetables or some eggs or something like that, you can be a part of it. The Texas Department of Agriculture and the United States Department of Agriculture over the years have had many grants and opportunities for folks in urban areas, whether that be individuals or farmers markets, schools, that kind of stuff, that they have grants that offer help with urban gardens and micro farms, things like that. So maybe you have seen this today and you're thinking, wow, I would like to get involved and maybe have a garden or have some animals, things like that. But you're kind of trying to look on where to start. So some really good resources for you to start with would be your local AgriLife extension agent, or your master gardeners, your local master gardener group, something like that. They can give you some tips for your soil type, soil condition. They can also give you some suggestions on how to start with those animals, maybe what age or how to care for them. They may even have some classes. There are classes that go on a lot of times in the springtime of whether you're wanting to start with some chickens or things like that. So if you've seen something today that maybe tickles your fancy and you're like, hey, I'm really interested in that, reach out to your local master gardeners, reach out to your local AgriLife extension agents, talk to them about different plants and different animals, things like that that are specific to your area. And if you're in charge of maybe a school or a senior facility, something like that, reach out to those to the TDA or to the USDA and see if they have any grant opportunities that are open that you might be able to put together something at your facility there to have your folks raise some vegetables or animals or something like that. So there's always lots of opportunity. We appreciate Mr. Troy taking time and sharing with us about his operation today. Hope y'all have enjoyed this glimpse into a micro farm, as he calls it. And anyways, if y'all have any questions, reach out to the Waxahachie Sun. As always, we'll do our best to answer them for you. Y'all take care now.